Hello everyone, welcome back to a very long awaited video from me. And before we get into any farming, I'd like to just say a big thank you to Matt's Down on World, who's put up with me not actually sending many videos for the past 6 months. Mainly because, as you can probably tell, this is not Meadow Grove. We're no longer living at Meadow Grove. And if I just take a little walk over here, if you watch from when I first started doing vlogs and that and send it to Matt's Doing World, you will know that is the old family farm here in Shamrock. Now that is now owned by the person I sold it to, a guy called Mike. I grew up with him. He bought the farm off me when I needed to, and yeah, I moved to Meadow Grove, as you know. Now Meadow Grove. It was all going well until the TB test, and most of my cattle all had TB, and unfortunately, for as many of you dairy farmers will know, that once a cow has TB, there's no going back. Now, yeah, unfortunately for me, that led to me having to sell the John Deere and the 40 Series Ford just to keep the farm running, and in the end there was nothing really left. I then sold most of the equipment that was worth any money, like the new combine that we had just bought, etc., and then sold up the farm entirely. And then when I was originally going to go and work at MH Contracts with the other Matt, when I spoke to Mike, he said he had a piece of land that he no longer needed with a couple of old sheds that he rented to an old bloke. And the old bloke sadly passed on. And he said that I could rent this yard off him. But what I'm gonna do is do some contracting work with Mike in between doing my own stuff. So I got like some income coming from that as well as milk from the cows. And when we are going to do a lot of grass and stuff, we're going to do grass bales to sell, and then pit silage ourselves. So yeah, we're going to hopefully fresh start. We're going to get on we're hopefully going to get on well. Now I'll just run you through some of the equipment. Obviously you know that the mower I kept from came with me from Meadow Grove, and I bought a front mower for it to go on the new tractor, which we'll get there in a minute. Just a little 8-ton trailer here. Now I needed a combine, but I didn't want to pay mega money, so I bought a Class Dominator 88. It's a nice little combine. It's got its header over there. I kept the hay bob to make hay with. Unfortunately, that's all we got at the moment. Obviously I kept the Ford 8210. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's the tractor I grew up in. You know, it's been everywhere with me. We sold it. Migrated back and it came back, so you know that's staying. And obviously the baler came as well. This is a new tractor. Well, I say new. It is not new. It's second hand, obviously, but it is one of our more powerful machines. As you can see, it's ready for grass silage. It's got the trailer on, all hooked up, ready to go. And yeah, we used to actually have one down at Meadow Grove, but if you remember rightly, all the bearings went in the steering axle. Obviously over there you can see the bale trailer and fertilizer spreader, and there's the cultivator. Got a rake as well. Now if you remember, I had a 6810 4-wheel drive. Now when I came here I did have the 6810 4-wheel drive, but I wanted something slightly smaller that has a good turning circle, because obviously I've got some big tractors. So when I saw the 6810 2-wheel drive come up in Farmers Weekly, I bought it, but I swapped it. I swapped the 6810 for this basically, with like a couple of £100 for delivering that. So pretty good deal. Now onto this. This is the new beast on the farm, and now this is, if you remember from Meadow Grove, I had the JCB like telehandler front loader. Now that was old and did die, unfortunately. I sold it to someone who instantly scrapped it. There's someone's brother over there as well. But yeah, he instantly scrapped it. It was worthless. So I've purchased this from the local dealer in Shamrock. It's a John Deere dealer. It's a 6155R and has a 643R front loader, but it can be detached, which is what we are going to do now. So we'll just pull this down. Now I have taken the pins out of the front loader, so there's no need to get back out. Now I'll start her up. Now this is our main tractor. I've started to, as you can see, I have done a few, as you'll see in a minute, I have done some bales. I did the little paddock field around the back and a field down the road. So I only own 4 fields, guys, so I've had to obviously keep money back for everything else. We own that field, which is more of a paddock, and then we own the big barley fields, 2 grass fields, and 3 grass fields, sorry. Now, what's going to happen is, this is first cut silage. Now I'm showing you what I'm doing, and there's a method in my ways here. Is that for the first, we're going down the road and I'll show you this easier. But basically, what the first field that I cut went into bales, and then the plan is to do the other 2 by getting Mike over the road to come with his self-propelled forager and do my silage for me, and I'll cart, etc., bring it back to my yard. Now, that's the plan. I don't know if you can see his forager. It's just there. It's a nice JD 7500, I believe. But yeah, I'll show you the field that we've already cut and baled. That's why the Ford's hooked up to the baler. But I started to reduce the work that the Ford 8210 does, because it's getting on. Right, that's Mike's bale after I borrowed it to wrap my bales, obviously. But as you can see, I left an edge here because he wants to put some sheep out here, so I thought, well, I'll give him something to eat and not just that. But down here you'll see is, jump right here, is already raked up, ready for the forager later this afternoon. Now I'm going to do a mow the other one as well, which is what you're going to come with me and do now. And basically, this field first cut is obviously being made into bales. That one there and the one we're going to, which is right up there, is going to go in the pit. And then the second cut, this will go in the pit, and the other 2 will be turned into bales. So it's basically just vice versa. And if we're lucky enough to get a first cut, then it'll be back to the way it is now. Now I only have the 1 barley field, and it's that big field up there. Now I'm hoping that I get enough straw for the year. If not, then I'll buy some. But this is the good thing. Now I've got a big enough tractor and a front mower, etc. Pull over, let me by. Now I can do. Now I got a good tractor. I can actually go and do some contracts around here myself for people with, you know, slightly smaller equipment that might want stuff done. So now that I've got the front mower as well, it means I can get everything done twice as fast. But obviously the 8210 is, yes, it's my favourite tractor. However, for jobs like this, it's not very practical. Now we may lose some power going up this hill because of the horsepower, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Turn that on, get some revs up, do the same with the back, and off we go. So yeah, this will be pit silage as well. And then, like I said, second cut, when it comes around, we'll bale this year. But yeah, thanks again guys, thanks for putting up with the long wait. I know some of you like watching my vlogs, but there was no point in me vlogging the deterioration of Meadow Grove because it wasn't a nice place to be, and I wasn't obviously right. That was quite a low point. So yeah, I thought it'd be best get back on my feet and go from there. But you can see a bit better now. That's our barley field out there. That'll be cut in the summer, and we get some decent amount of straw. And obviously I haven't got a grain storage silo or nothing, so the grain will be instantly sold, which is again more income for us. And obviously people already know me around here from obviously when I lived here basically all my life, and remembered that I did obviously the logs and that in the winter. Now I have spoken to the council, and they're willing to let me do the snow plowing in the winter like I did beforehand. Which is very good of them. They said it's going to be on like a council like permit, that when it snows, if it snows, I mean it might not snow, but if it snows and the roads are jam packed with snow, then I go out ploughing, probably snow ploughing, probably in this, so I can put it on the front. By the way guys, if you're wondering, this is X demo, why it's slightly cheaper. It was X demo, but yeah, it's a nice tractor. I kind of wanted a 6175 or 6195, but their prices were a little bit too much for what I could afford, so I went with a medium-sized sort of R-series tractor. Still cost quite a fair bit, obviously, but I needed a tractor that was, well, I needed a front loader. I needed something that could obviously lift bales, feed cows, etc. Because we are going to move the cows out here eventually as well. We're going to move them around. So yeah, you guys will hopefully be along with me, along for the ride. Start to make some money, do some contracting jobs as well. People in the village, and obviously the forest at the top is still there. When me and, obviously if you remember right back, this is like a year or two ago now, before I moved. Well, I haven't even done that. I was only in the road for like a year, 2 years, something like that. If you remember, we were cutting down the trees out there. Now most of them are still up and are still in Mike's land possession, but Mike doesn't have a saw bench or anything like that, whereas I actually do have a saw bench and everything still. So I'm actually going to go up there in the winter period again and cut firewood for the local people, for the elderly and stuff like that, who have log burning fires, etc. Yeah. So I'm going to be clearing the roads and selling firewood in the winter, and then obviously doing my actual farm work all year round. But not only that, is doing other people's contracts. Like if someone brings up wants his field cut, then I'm going to get a little bit of income from that as well. Because cut his field for a decent price, or her field or whatever, and then they might want me to raise it up. I don't know. We'll have to see when the time comes. But I mean, I'm quite happy at the moment with the equipment I've got, with the money I'm making off cows, obviously the milk, etc. So it's doing well, and I'm glad to be vlogging again, getting the GoPro out. It's nice. Now the good thing is, now we got a front mower, we can actually take out 2 strips at once. Whereas beforehand we had to go back on the truck we just made. So it takes, it does take a lot less time to cut field, which is nice. It's what you want, so I can be out here at the rake. I'm coming up to dinner time. So I mean, I get this field mowed up, go back up into the aspect, get it raked up after dinner, and then that'll be both fields raked up. And Mike said he's going to come down later on this evening to get and pick it up. So I won't vlog the raking. There's absolutely no point. Because I'm basically just doing the same as what we're doing now, and most of you've probably seen it all before. So the likelihood is I won't vlog the raking, but I will vlog getting the grass actually in with the polythene. And if you're wondering why the case is on the trailer, it's because obviously I need to put the front loader on this with the silage butt raised on the front. I need to put the silage grab on the front to push it up in the pit, obviously. Now Mike did offer me, he said he could one of his young lads to come over with the wheel loader he's got over there. Did think about it, but then I thought, well, it's alright getting the wheel loader in, etc. But when I got a tractor here myself, I can just bring in a trailer, and then bring in like the first trailer load and then the second one, and on the second one push it up in the pit, and then etc. Yes, Mike's going to be waiting in the field, but again, he's a mate, he doesn't mind. So, still getting used to the controls in this tractor. Not long at it. But I do like it, and with the front loader, obviously I've put the bells up and everything with it recently, and it is a nice easy front loader to use, it's just all on the joystick there, or on the little one, and it is easy to use. And that's what you want. I'm not the most technical guys, but every time I get a 10 series John Deere back, I have to end up selling it. So I thought I'd break the curse, go for something modern, get a front loader on it, and yeah, it's definitely paying me back with the work that we can do. Just a shame that I didn't get as much fertilizer out here as I wanted. But this is again first cut. Second cut will be a thicker crop because I get the slurry and the fert. I get the slurry and the fert out here straight after. Where are you? What's going on? Racer up. I think I accidentally hit the B2. Shit. Let's try again. Let's try it now. See. Yeah, still getting used to it all. And remembering that the PTO switches and that's on there. But yeah, so, I don't know what I was saying now for that. Oh yeah, I get fertilizer and slurry out here and everything, and on the other two as well. And then hopefully second cut will be a thicker crop. And like I said, I'll sell the grass bales, well, the silage bales, keep the pit silage for myself, and then get some income off of that, because everyone wants grass bales. There's the pressure in place down the road. They want grass, silage bales and everything. We also got hay to get in as well, just before we get the barley in. So we're gonna, obviously I need hay, but I can also make some for other people. Another thing guys, the little conventional baler has gone, and the sled, unfortunately, it wasn't something that I really needed. I kind of, because I'm a one-man guy, one-man farmer, you know, I'm doing everything myself. I found that doing round bales is a lot easier because I only need the one attacher, and I can just load the bales on the trailer as they are. But with the squares, obviously, I get on the trailer, sort them out myself, you know, and it was just easier to do all round. I was thinking actually, now we got the bigger tractor, I could invest in like a square baler next year. But again, let's see about that, because that is not a necessity really. That is definitely not a necessity. Right, that's the top end of the field done, just the bottom end now. But yeah, as you tell, all of like the red rock, yes, you might be thinking you've got 2 grain trailers. No, the red rock is purely for silage and carting manure to the field, and that is only because the trailer is so old that the nut and bolts that hold the sides and everything on are actually like stuck on there. I tried to take it off when I bought it, and the bloke I bought it second hand, and the bloke never looked after it. It was always out in the rain, and they're literally, it's like they're welded on as well. It's really weird. I can't get it off. So I bought, as I said, I bought the 8-ton trailer. It's just as easy, and I mean, we only got a Dominator anyway, so you know, it's not got a big range on, but it'll do the job for us. And I do plan, hopefully, if there's time in the vlog, I'll show you. But I plan on making another entrance into the yard. And that is fact that where those trees are and the gate to the field is, up that hill is my yard. Now I want to cut some trees down and make an entrance to that field through the back of the yard before the summer comes, hopefully, before the summer comes. If not, it'll be winter. But if not, it'll be winter time. But I want to cut it down. Purely because, and there is an reason. Next year, for the crop rotation, I'm going to put grass out there. It's going to be easier than taking the cows all the way down the road. And so yeah, that's the way that I'm planning it. I plan on making a little entrance, so make it easier as well. Put this a little bit down. But yeah, after dinner this will all get raked up, and yeah, we'll get it in the pit by late tonight, hopefully. All being well. I mean, the grass is dry. That's the main thing. As you can see, down here, slightly different colour there. Mainly because it's that part is kind of like dry and dying out almost. Whack these off. Or front up. The mowers are getting dirty as well because of the amount of using. Now, I have got one bloke that wants me to cut this field grass, and I will show you as it's down the bottom of the road. I will open this gate actually. Keep it open. But yeah, that's that all cut up, look guys. That is all nicely cut. But the Toon FC313F does the job. Definitely does the job on this tractor. If we'll jump back up in, turn that back down. Right then. Let's head off home. Put some beacons on. Can't see around that corner. Let that car go. We need to swing. There we go. Let's head off home. But yeah, I have got one bloke who's rang that I knew before. Alright. Obviously we got the pub. Obviously the pub have obviously spoken to me about doing the car park like I used to. They said it didn't get done last year when they had snow. Because no one would do it. No one really knows one. But that's the field, guys, that we got to mow for the man. I don't know. I think it was Bob actually. I'm not sure. I think it was Bob. But yeah, we got to cut that field. That's a big field, so lucky we got the front mower for that. But we ain't got to do that for a couple more weeks. He said it's not quite ready. It's not quite ready for it to cut. So we'll cut it for him. And then I believe Mike's going to go out there and pick it up for him. I mean, we want to pick it up. It's not our job, but Mike just wants me to go and mow it for him. Now, I think what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to park this up. I don't keep the mowers on it because, like I said, I need to go and mow. Yeah, I keep the mowers on it for now because I don't. No, I won't actually. And I'll tell you for why. Now we can dump the front bit there. I'll tell you why I won't keep them on. And that's because we need to put the front loader on it with the silage butt rake on the front. I'll back that right up in there. Put that there. But yeah, the Ford, I left the door open on the Ford. I always do. To be fair, the Ford, I always leave the doors open on the Ford and the back window and the side windows, mainly because that's what they're generally open in the field. Obviously going down the road I shut the door, but the side windows and the back window are always open. I don't think I ever shut them. Alright, we'll turn the beacons up now we're here. So what we're going to do, put that up. Now we're going to head on down to the field. Just going to make sure it's all plugged in alright. Please. Another down. Right. We're going to go and take Mike's bale wrapper back, and then he can put his sheep and everything out there. He won't put his sheep out there today because he's going to be getting a silage in. So we need the access to the field. But I imagine tomorrow, I said to him as soon as I've moved the bales, I'll leave some of the grass out there around the feeding trough, but that was his field. But he sold, like he said, he sold some to me. Obviously, he's still got the water trough over there and the feeding trough there. So I said I'd leave some around the edge. Obviously, a lot of that's going to get trampled down with me driving over the trailer, but yeah. So we'll take his bale wrapper back. We'll leave the gate open because we've got to go down there later in this afternoon. So I'll take the bale wrapper back for him, and then I think I'll go for some lunch. And after lunch I'll go take the 6/8 break it up, and probably by sort of 4:30, I imagine the fire will be out. So I'll start vlogging it, well, I'll vlog it later on. Now, we need to put this back in the right place. Now, I believe he's not here at the moment. I just said I'd drop it back in. Right. Back that round. Now, it was just up and downstairs. As you can see, the yard hasn't really changed for us. He hasn't really done anything to it. Put that there. I'm pretty sure in this folder as well. So yeah, 7500i. He's got a slightly new header on it. I think he said the old one was knackered. But yeah, you'll see it in the vlog in action later because he'll, like I said, he'll be picking up silage for me. So yeah, I'm gonna head on back to the yard and have some lunch. So thanks again, guys, for watching my vlogs. be sure to keep an eye on the channel now, as I will be sending multiple vlogs mapping the worlds now. We're going to be rocking and rolling once again. And until the next vlog, guys, bye for now.